Hello everyone, welcome to our academic reading and writing subject, and for today we will be talking about the fundamental reading skills. Objectives: at the end of the lesson you should be able to identify the purposes, types, and categories of reading. Next is to identify the skills used in each of the stages of the reading process. Gain knowledge on the basic reading skills and effectively apply these reading skills. Reading is not an effortless task, but it is a complex cognitive process. So aside from this, it is also highly visual because it involves the transmission of messages through the optic nerves. Although you may not be aware of it, you apply different skills when reading a particular text. So you do more than just you read, and you also locate main ideas, summarize, paraphrase, and also you note details and get the meanings of the word upon reading. Reading is a language skill which can be developed through constant practice. It can widen your vocabulary and develop skills in writing when you read. It is also an interactive process wherein the writer and the reader interacts. So as a reader, you interact with what you read by asking questions, analyzing the assertions, and adding your own understanding and relating it to your experience. So take note that basic reading skills are necessary even when doing advanced reading. And reading undergoes a process which includes pre-reading, while reading or actual reading, and the post-reading. First, let's discuss what is the pre-reading stage. It is where you draw your knowledge by simply looking at the title of what you are going to read. So it aims to induce the reader's motivation to read and to activate their schema or background knowledge. So if you're going to read the text and then by simply looking at the title itself, you'll be having its idea and you'll be thinking, what do you know about the title itself? By simply reading at the title, what are the things that comes to your mind? So there are a lot of activities that can be done during this stage. Previewing, free writing, surveying, questioning, and many more. After pre-reading stage, we proceed to the while reading stage. This is where you read the body of the text or the story that you are going to read. So in here, it is important that you understand the meaning of the text, the meaning of the story. So you can reread the text until you fully understand its meaning. The specific skills in this stage include getting the meaning of words through context clues, also predicting, inferencing, annotating text, and reflecting. After the while reading stage, we proceed to the post-reading stage, wherein it is the last stage wherein you have to check your understanding of the text. So this includes reflecting, summarizing, paraphrasing, drawing conclusions, or making graphic organizers, and journal writing. Now let's talk about the basic reading skill. So basic reading skills can be developed through appropriate strategy. So the following are various skills which can enhance your reading experience and make you an effective reader. First is the rapid reading, wherein it aims to locate specific information or main ideas in a very short span of time. So when you try to get the general idea by reading through the text quickly, that is skimming. So when we say skimming, it is a type of quick reading which aims to get the main idea and to get an overview of the material. So it is usually done when reading newspapers, magazines, books, and letters. So we have different techniques for effective skimming. We have two. First one is to use your finger as a guide when reading across the line. So this will help you to find the main idea effectively. Second is to focus more on the first and last sentences of each paragraph, because sometimes they usually contain the main idea of the text. Always take note of the first and last sentence of the paragraph. So under rapid reading, we also have locating the main idea. So it is another reading skill that involves the identification of the central message of a reading selection. So take note that the main idea is usually found either or both the first and last sentences of the paragraph, but sometimes it may also appear in the middle or may simply implied and not explicitly stated in the text. So in order for you to determine the main idea easily, you have to study and take note of the levels of ideas in a paragraph in order for you to see elements help in pointing to the main idea. So we have some techniques in locating the main idea. First is to identify the topic or the subject. Second is to take note of the transitional devices such as thus, therefore, to conclude, and to sum up. This may signal the main idea. The last technique is to validate your identified main idea by analyzing if all supporting details directly or indirectly support it. Next, we have scanning. When we say scanning, it is a quick reading strategy which aims to get specific information from a given text. You should take note of the word specific information. In here, you will be focusing on getting only the specific information that you want to get. So you don't have to read through the whole paragraph or the whole list. So scanning is useful in locating the specific name of a board passer or looking for an old email in your inbox. Also in checking the specific information in a graph. So you can develop this skill further by applying these different tips. First is be clear with the information that you need. So you have to check if you are looking for a date, figure, person, place, or event, and focus on that specific information. So make sure that you know first what you are looking for. Next is to avoid reading every word. Just focus on what you need. Just focus on what you need to know. Number 3 is to relax your eyes and move them across the lines rapidly. Number 2 is previewing. It is a skill wherein a reader looks over a material and focuses on the information he or she finds relevant. So it allows the readers to set the purpose and link the content of the material to their background knowledge. So this is conducted during the pre-reading stage. So effective previewing involves clarifying the purpose, reading the title and headings, and also checking the illustration and other visuals. Also, browsing or inspecting the table of contents, introduction or summary is also a previewing technique. Number 3 is the literal reading. It involves the understanding of ideas and facts that are directly stated in the printed material. So in here, your focus is on the words or sentences that is already written on the line or on the book or newspaper that you are about to read. So skills under this category include note-taking, paraphrasing, and summarizing, and these are done in the post-reading stage. Under literal reading, we have summarizing. So after reading a specific material, book, or story, in order for you to check your understanding, you can actually summarize it. Summarizing is a reading skill that involves condensing a lengthy text into a shorter passage, which is usually up 15 to 30% of the source material. So when we say condensing, you are just going to get the highlights or the main ideas that are important in the text. So it is essential that the thesis statement or the topic sentence is included in the summary. So in summarizing, it is important that you know how to locate the main idea. So by practicing effective summarizing, you can improve your studying, writing, and reading skills. So we have different strategies in summarizing. Number 1 is to annotate. So when we say annotate, you can add notes to the original text or highlight the most important ideas to avoid putting your own comments. Another is if you are summarizing a text with multiple paragraphs, you should get the main idea of each paragraph and write them in your own words. And afterwards, you can combine them into a coherent article using different transitional devices. Lastly is to ensure accuracy by comparing your summary to the original text. So, second, under literal reading is paraphrasing. When we say paraphrasing, it involves the restating ideas from the original text. So unlike summary, the length of a paraphrased text is almost similar to the length of the original text because it focuses on the details and not on the main idea. A paraphrased text, take note that a paraphrased text also cites and preserves the tone of the original text. So in paraphrasing, it is important that you have a wide range of vocabulary so that you can paraphrase well. So generally, paraphrasing is done to simplify a complicated text or to improve study skills and borrow the ideas correctly without quoting it directly. So we have different strategies for effective paraphrasing. First, do not change the original thought of the text. Instead, change the way it is being conveyed. Second is, do not confuse it with a summary. So in here, you should focus on the details, not on the main idea alone. And lastly, as with summarizing, ensure the accuracy by comparing the original and paraphrased text. Number 4, we have inferential reading. When we say inferential reading, it refers to the process of deducing facts and ideas not directly expressed in the text. It is also known as reading between the lines. This skill includes generalization, inferences, and conclusion. This is applied during the while reading process or stage. Take note that an inference is an idea drawn from facts or details in the text. So making inferences is important so that the reader can fully understand the text, even when some of the information is left out by the author. And last, number 5, we have critical reading. This refers to the close and thorough evaluation of the claims in the text in terms of relevance, validity, and logic. So this skill includes distinguishing of facts from opinions and detecting logical fallacies. So the same thing with inferential reading. Critical reading happens in the while reading stage. So there you have it, guys. That's it for our lesson for today for the fundamental reading skills.